That's why you have white boys in it.
Yes, sir.
Who can diss other black people and call it battle rhyming. You follow what I'm saying? It's a fact. But it got away from the essence of what it really was. So I walked into that. And they had the hip-hop temple. But it wasn't about a hip-hop at all. It was about the development of self and coming into a deeper spiritual understanding and to be able to articulate that in rhythm. Y'all follow what I'm saying? My quest in hip-hop had to do nothing with selling or making records. I'm literally reading these books, getting deep to write these rhymes. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting in tune with different sound frequencies and resonances to make these beats, going back into my ancient self, remembering who I am through these beats. You follow what I'm saying? My DNA is responding to the tones, awakening me to who I am. This was my experience in hip-hop. So you can't limit self-development to hip-hop. But if you go back in time, you'll find out that becoming a musician in the ancient time was a part of your spiritual development. That wasn't just a genre of music. When you get to a certain spiritual level, you should have a musical appreciation. You should have some tonal talent to orchestrate sound and vibration. Am I right? Even your healers use sound to heal people. So they took an encapsulation of our spiritual development process, called it hip-hop, packaged it, and sold it to people, and sold it back to us. Like that's who we was. And they made it look like that's who we are. But that's not. That's a snapshot of a greater process. You got Wu-Tang imitating the Shaolin monks. But why would they imitate them? We are their teachers. We are the Bodhidharma. So they're imitating themselves. We educated and civilized every people on the earth. Every race was taught by black people. If you look at the martial arts, you find out that they learned from a black person from India. That's who they trace their system back to. So why are you imitating these pale Asians? If you move further into being your divine self, you would outdo them. Which is why many of them come over here to imitate us and get off into hip-hop. But they're not getting off into hip-hop. They're really getting off into the evolution of man. In movement, in expression, and in tonality. It's a fact. It's a fact. The beats that we was making in hip-hop, there was more complexity in the orchestrations of music than it was in the 50s. I don't care how good they sing, but to orchestrate and engineer the music that we have today, you damn near have to be a genius. To keep all that in sync, you know what I'm saying, and organize all them tones and musics and bring them all in and engineer those tracks. You damn near have to be a genius. So it's not just hip-hop, it's the evolution of the black mind. But when you limit it to that, you don't see the potential for elevating in every aspect of society. Which is why everybody wants to be a rapper. But nobody wants to be a god. A sovereign, a ruler, a scientist.
Correct, brother.
No one wants to be a great man. Everybody wants to be a rapper, not realizing that that's only one dimension. Right. That you can't reach a certain level of consciousness without getting to a certain level of rhythm. With consciousness comes rhythm, because you are in rhythm with the universe. So every great speaker is a rapper. Why they don't have the beats and the 40 ounces and the blunts and the white tees on.
Right.
Every speaker is a rapper. When people mess with Jesse Jackson and how he spoke, They always knew that it was rhyming in his words. He rhymed a lot of words, Jesse Jackson. And Dr. Martin Luther King too. They were poets. So you cannot reach a level of rhythmic because to become conscious, to become a whole person is to become in rhythm with the universe. So how do you become in rhythm in the universe and not speak rhythmically? We say everybody in the nation sound like Farrakhan, but what we're hearing is rhythm. They're on the same rhythm that he is on. So they sound rhythmically the way he do. It's a fact. So you can't reach a level of consciousness without having an affinity towards rhythm. They want to imitate the process, but not become. People say, why you don't rap no more? Because I have become the rhythm. Rappers are actors.
Tell it.
They're actors. And when you become the real thing, you have no need to act anymore. I said right now, I said this 2 years ago, I'm living out my greatest rap that I have ever written. I wrote that shit, and now I'm living it. Some of them still writing more stuff, and they've yet to achieve what they wrote about. And they're depending on the white man to give them the illusion of living what they're writing about. But as soon as that white man let their ass go, they remember they're an undeveloped nigga like everybody else. Right?
Correct. Tell it, bro.
But if they had really developed, then they would have had what they had without a record contract.
Right.
They would have been worthy of the greatness that they seek to get from a handout from the white man. That's a handout. That's a handout. But when you actually become and actually really raise your consciousness and don't stop at being a rapper, getting wrapped up in that, unwrap your mind and open it up. And I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm so tired of seeing so many grown-ass men that's talking about they're rappers. It's upsetting.
It is, man.
I want to hear some scientists, some herbalists, some something else besides a rapper. Now, you can rap, that's great. You should be rhythmic. You follow me? You should have some rhythm. Because you're black. Black is synonymous with rhythm. So if you telling me you black and you got rhythm, you ain't told me nothing.
Right. Ain't shit. Ain't shit. Come on, man.
Show me something you're doing with the rhythm now.
Right.
How you surpassing it and taking your whole self to another level on every level of your existence. People 50 years old talking about I'm a great rapper. It's a joke.
Really go.
Take back your community. You're in a corner with freestyle competitions with 15-year-olds. European driving around and ruling. Telling your ass when to go in the house. Grown ass man. Y'all rap session is over, kids. I couldn't grow up in that. I saw that. We from one corner to the other corner, standing in little Negro circles trying to rap. No, nothing. Move again, niggers. Move again. We move and go to the next corner. We ain't got nothing. So I don't want to hear another grown-ass man say they're a rapper. I'm not against people rapping. We need poets and people with talent. But realize yourself as a damn genius altogether.
Right, man.
And it's not just rappers, even people with they artists.
Anything.
Well, this one spectrum becomes a totality of themselves. Like if the universe gave them a cure for cancer, they couldn't even hear, well, I'm a rapper. Shit, I want to hear that shit. I'm a rapper. I don't deal with that. If the universe gave them another enlightened thought based on the amount of intelligence that could come to their brain, they would deny it because this is what they are. I'm a rapper. That's sad. How about I can rap as well as I can do many things? When I get on the internet and I'm looking at all these MySpace pages, everybody is a rapper. And you know what? None of them are rappers. All of them are employees for white supremacy.
Yeah.
Because most of them are not getting paid for rapping. And a career should be something what? You got some livelihood after. If you can't get no livelihood after, it really ain't your career. Be honest. I work at McDonald's. Huh? I rob people. It's okay. Everybody got to develop from wherever they at. But you got to see where you at so that you develop. But they don't think they rob people. I sell crack. I am a rapper. You rapping them rock bags, it's fine. Because we all have to go through what we have to go through to get where we're going. But we got to look at it. Because if we don't look at things for what they are, then how do we grow? How do we get to the next level? My next thing is, there's not going to be no revolution of gangsters. I'm tired of this, man. There will be no gangster revolution. The revolution will not be made by gangsters.
They're trying to make money, man.
It's a fact. Ain't no gangsters gonna make a revolution. Now, intelligent people can develop and create the circumstances where they will react due to the circumstance, and they will use their guns in them situations due to that circumstance. But you can get all the gangsters together
They getting their ass killed all
and tell them to organize and be a part of some type of revolution. It's not gonna happen. You asking them to get out of the game. You asking them. That's what you really asking them. And if you don't think they're intelligent enough to see that, you know them not. You come to them and say, look, I want you to be part. You telling them to come out of a tradition that's black on black murder. Huh? It's a tradition of killing each other. And even if they can step away from that from a little while, under a peace treaty, or because Farrakhan had a good speech, it's really a tradition of killing one another. And it has had a longer tradition of us killing each other than any other thing that has been attributed to it. It has murdered more people than it has saved. This is not the traditional revolutionary talk. Now my thing is, when I see a person in a gang, I do not see a gangbanger. No matter what fork they have. No matter what gang sign they throw up. I see a brother. Or I see a sister. I don't see gangs. I'm not gang conscious. I don't see gangbangers. I see my people. And if I go to them, I'm going to them out of them being my people, not being gangbangers. I don't validate them of any gang that they are a part of. I am against black people killing each other over bullshit and money and capitalism. I'm against that. I'm against that. That's a fact. But I see each and every individual that might be going through that process as my brother and as my sister. And I approach them as human beings. But I will never for 1 minute pretend as if I'm personally going to relate to them out of being gangs. I can't do it. Because I know what that mentality has done for our community. It's too cliquish, too blockish, it's too self-centered. Black love is the next priority. It has some love inside of the clique, but it is not a greater love for our overall community. The survival of the clique is more important than the survival of the people. It's a fact. They operate out of this consistently. We're against that. And if they choose to manifest gang integrity, gang ideology, and gang principle over black nationalism and black imperialism, they will be destroyed. They will be destroyed. For that. Because that is despicable and it is intolerable for this day and time.